¿Qué onda? Thanks for watching Doing Life with Jenny. If you're new here, in June of 2023, I moved from St. Louis in the United States to Mexico to the state of Hidalgo. So if you've been around for a while, you know I had a land dispute after starting to build my home. So we're going to recap what happened and give you the finale. Is it a happy conclusion? Stay tuned to find out. So in October of 2021, I was sick from work and came to buy my land in Mexico. Everything went really well. I had only seen it online, and once I got here, I'm like, okay, yeah, there's the grocery store, there's the bus station, there's the market, perfect location. I don't remember when, so I'll leave the date on the screen, but then I slowly started building. First, the construction company came to clear off the land. They started doing the first steps, like the foundation and putting the barda, which is like your fence, except for it's a cement wall. So as I started rolling with the project, this elderly gentleman, I would say he's probably like 65, stops by to talk with the construction workers and says, "Hey, you're building on my land." So they paused, and the architect sent me a message saying what's going on. I'm like, well, could he be right? And he's like, no, no, no. Like, here's your escrituras, which is like your deed. And this is what it says. And we measured, and here's where your land is. So I'm like, I mean, okay, I guess we'll keep building then if there's not a chance I could be wrong. So we kept building, and now the man was really mad because we kept building on his land. We'll put it in quotes for now. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. The following shouldn't matter, but it did. This guy is very grumpy looking. His voice is very low and grumpy. And he just has this aura about him that he's a bad person. Not saying he is or was, that's just the way he presents. And unfortunately, that just makes you think that he's trying to start problems or that he's lying, right? So after the man stopped by again, we stopped construction again. This time we dug a little deeper. And again they said, no, this is my land. So once I was told again that this is your land, Jenny, I said, okay, then we'll keep building because I don't have a reason to stop if it's actually my land. And of course, every time this man stopped by and I was informed, saying that he said this, that, and the other, I'm like, my stomach drops, right? One, because it was a big investment by my standards, and two, I was in the States and this was all happening in Mexico. So after we started again the third time, the guy shows up with a hired, like, what do you call it, an excavator? The machine that has like the claw thing to dig, and knocks down the back barda. So at this point, like, we have to stop. Like, this guy means business. So before this happened, I had actually contacted a lawyer to help resolve the issue. This was very, very recent. Before the guy knocked down the wall, that I hired the lawyer. And when they sent me the video of the man knocking down the back wall, like, I quickly contacted the lawyer. It was a Sunday, so they didn't work on Sundays. And he was awesome enough to like come by and check out what was happening. So again, I'm still in the States. My stomach is a mess, but I'm feeling good that at least I have a lawyer to try to get this sorted out. I'll put something on the screen if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure at this point, if I had been wrong and had to like modify the size of my land, it was too late to modify the plans for the house. Like, the foundation was already built, a lot of the walls were already built, so it wasn't like I could like, okay, let's shift the house up a few feet to avoid coinciding with his land or something of that nature. If you've seen my videos of house tours or me just outside, it doesn't look like it, but my land is actually double of what you see in my videos. I just chose not to build anything on the other half so far. And it was too late to like build wide because I had built deep. So it would have meant starting over. So yada yada yada, fast forward, I moved to Mexico while things are trying to get resolved. So once I was actually in Mexico, it was a little easier to get resolved because I was able to go with a lawyer and hire an engineer slash land surveyor. And they came out like twice and said, yeah, this this is your land. This is what it says. It goes here. I'm like, okay. So the lawyer gave me permission to keep building at that point. And I did. I finished the whole house. And then in the back, we just put some chicken wire to keep the dogs inside. And that's how I was living up until last week. But despite two engineers saying, yeah, Jenny's fine, this is her land, the guy was just not having it. He's like, no, 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 this cannot be. So we had another engineer come out. And he said, no, actually, Jenny, your land starts in the middle of the street, which means it ends here, which means this is where the guy's land starts. Honestly, I don't really believe him, because why are other engineers gonna say the same thing and then the third one finally says something different? I mean, it could be true, it could. But I just found it odd, like maybe somebody paid him off just to go in this man's favor, or the lawyers paid him off just to be done with it or something. I'm not sure. But anyways, at that point, like, whatever, I just want to be done with this. The whole time I just wanted to be done with this. If you recall in previous videos, the whole time I offered to buy the little piece in question from the man. He wouldn't have that. I offered to give him the other half of my land that I'm not using in exchange for the little piece behind me. Wasn't having it. He wanted to sell me his entire plot of land, which is huge, and I didn't have money for. But anyways, they said I was wrong. Whatever, let's just, how can we move forward from here? So after the final engineer came, we were working with a mediator at the courthouse. And we must have taken 3 or 4 trips there. At first, the guy was very, very stubborn. He just wasn't having it. In that case, we were just going to have to wait out the court process, which would have taken a long time, because that's just how it goes in Mexico. I've never had to deal with any legal issues in the States, so I'm not sure if it's the same there. But basically, at some point going to these mediations, the gentleman realized, well, it's not Jenny's fault either. Like, she's not a builder, she's not an architect. She was just doing what people said, oh yeah, that's fine, you can keep going ahead with your project. And I told him that, I'm like, if I would have known that, obviously I wouldn't have done that. And like, he realized I'm not a bad person, so he was willing to be more flexible. So it was probably October-ish, maybe September, that we went to our final session with the mediator to sign the paperwork saying that we agreed on the following, which is what I suggested over a year ago. So he gave me the little piece behind my house. So basically, it was the depth of my lot that was in question, not the width. And supposedly, my land was going 3 meters deep into his. So he gave me that in exchange for me giving him my entire other plot of land. Like, you can build another small house, or if you build 2 or 3 stories, you can build a large house plus have some yard. So he got all of that. So yeah, that hurts at the end of the day, because I wanted to build maybe some apartments or something down the road, or at least sell it. But that couldn't happen. But I am very, 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 very thankful that I could just at least keep what I had going on this side of my land, to not have to knock down the house and start over. Because supposedly those 3 meters came and rubbed right against the back bedroom. So I would have had to knock that wall down, would have lost the window in the bedroom, would have lost where my washing machine is. So at the end of the day, I guess I can be thankful that it's just over and that I was able to keep my house as is. So all that's left to do is to take the paperwork that we signed to the Notary Republic for her to update both of our deeds. And that's it. So finally, last week, the construction workers came and put my wall back up. I could have done that a long time ago. I was just saving up some money and trying to work out the schedule with the construction workers. But yeah, we'll say it has a happy ending. Or at least neutral. At least it didn't end badly. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Do me a favor and in the comment section, let me know what kind of content you would like to see. I think I'll have more time this semester to make videos a little bit more frequently. First semester was crazy. But thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.